Thanks, friends. Ever since I was a little boy, I loved making things, and I've always been in a family surrounded by love. So it might be surprising for you to know that my values are love and making, which, if you say them really quickly, is proper awkward. And when we're talking about beds tonight, might get even more awkward. But I want you to think about what was important to you when you were a child. Was it jumping on your parents' bed? Was it sleeping on a good bed? Was it making things? Was it having tools? What was it for you? These tools that are so important to us as young people, like a bed, a washing machine, a shower, some toys, are actually missing in remote communities. I want you to meet this little dude, Archie. I first met Archie up in a town called Lockhart River in Cape York in Queensland, 300 k's from the tip of Queensland, a couple of years ago. And Ben, my co-founder, took Archie's picture. But it got to a point after a while that Ben just kept on taking this little boy's picture. And then it clicked with me. That every time Ben put his camera down, Archie went back to scratching the sores on his arms, his legs. Ben was just simply distracting this little boy. See, Archie had scabies. Scabies is a small mite that lives on our skin and lives in our beds. Archie also has strep A. Strep A is actually not foreign to us here in a metro community. We'd all have it on our skin here tonight. But the difference is that in remote Aboriginal communities here in Australia, people not having access to a working washing machine, clean bed, a shower and good ointment, that little mite, that little infection, that leads to rheumatic fever. That fever then leads to rheumatic heart disease, and that rheumatic heart disease is killing people. Australia has the highest rates of rheumatic heart disease than any third world country. 51% of communities in Australia experience overcrowding, and Aboriginal people like Archie are 60 times more likely to contract RHD than us fellow Australians. But RHD is completely preventable. Former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd had RHD. My grandmother, who just turned 94, had RHD. But if the former Prime Minister or my grandmother grew up in a remote community, they would be unlikely to reach my age. So what we're trying to do at this Goods project is reimagine those essential items like beds, like washing machines, and build goods that not only heal the people, but heal the community. We want to work with communities to build desirable, functional, and fit-for-purpose goods that do just that. So I want to meet another legend, Diane Stokes. Diane Stokes is a Warramungu elder from Tennant Creek. Diane returned to her traditional homelands 23 years ago, living in her car. Diane spoke about every time she left her grandmother's country, a part of her heart was missing. But when Diane's back in her own block, she's missing those really essential things. Diane doesn't have the health hardware to keep her or a community or a country safe. We asked Diane, what are the difficulties in living in your community? She said, there's no way to wash my mattress. My mattress gets dirty in the conditions being outside. Diane pays 3 to 4 times the price of a white good than what we would pay in a metro city. Diane doesn't know how to read the language on all these buttons that are on the washing machine. And then when the washing machine inevitably breaks, there's no one to fix that washing machine. There's also no way to recycle that washing machine. So that washing machine ends up in landfill and harms Diane's country. So it's really simple. We asked Diane, how would you imagine a bed? Diane was like, let me tell you. So we sat down with Diane and she said she wanted a bed that was off the ground. She wanted it to be comfy, just like how I want my bed. She wanted it to be modular, that she could make it bigger and smaller when people came into her community. She wanted to be able to repair it because she knew that it would be in these harsh conditions. And selfishly for me, as someone who loves washing, I wanted her to be able to wash a mattress to eliminate those scabies and bedbugs. So we made a promise to Diane. We made a promise to thousands of First Nations people that we've connected with over the last 10 years. We made a promise to work with them to build amazing goods. And that's what the Goods Project is all about. So we decided we'd build our first product and we called it the basket bed. We worked with community to design this bed, and we thought, what better person to test our bed than Diane herself? So we're pretty nervous bringing this first basket bed to Diane, and her face lit up and she was like, I don't know what you're doing here. This looks a bit dodgy. Is this actually a mattress? I'm like, no, Diane, like trust us. And as soon as Diane saw the bed, her eyes lit up. She was transcended into a past where she actually could consider sleeping in a safe place. She saw a couch for culture, and she saw something that most of us probably just got up from this morning being such a pivotal thing to her life. Here's a little snapshot of Diane giving us feedback.
Yeah, done a good job, Nick.
I want you to try it because we can make it more squishy.
You. That's comfortable. It's comfortable now.
I have to try it out.
Yeah. That's this number one.
Why do you think so?
Why do I think it's comfortable? Because I was looking for these kinds before. Having a milk crate and a mattress on top. That was comfortable, but not much. But this is more.
And do you think you could take it to get washed when it gets dirty?
Yeah.
Take it to the, I think it's the women's.
No, my daughter's got a washing machine.
Okay.
So I'll do it there.
Do you want to try double?
You try them, Darren. Give me that.
So if it's better. Some people like more firm.
Darren, they're coming up here looking at you.
So I can't speak more on good, but I think at the end there, Diane was saying, hopefully it's comfortable. So this basket bed is made by collapsible baskets. It uses no tools need to be required, and we work by training local bed mechanics to build these beds that are completely modular. They can be lifted off the ground, they can be turned into couches. They've got a washable topper, which means for the first time ever, remote communities can actually have a washing machine, a mattress that can be put in a washing machine and heal not only her people, but heal the country around her. We're just getting started on this project. We want to completely reimagine things like beds, washing machines, and fridges to not only help the community, but also empower the community to have that desire, that functionality and that viability for the local community. So imagine then if we could grow this. Well, actually, over the last few months, we've delivered over 300 of these beds from Palm Island to Mount Isa to Tennant Creek, and we've got a pipeline of people wanting these mattresses all across the country. We're just getting started. This here is Diane's newest creation, the Pack and Jill Curry, which is a washing machine designed by her community. It's a first of its kind washing machine that's got one button, so you don't need to choose anything else. It's completely repairable, and it is using 56 kilos of recycled plastic from her community to be wrapped and endured in to bring that amazing colour to it. Diane's really proud of this project, but what we're most proud of is that this is completely community-led and community-driven, and we're moving from dumping stuff into communities and saying, here you go, to communities actually wanting, building and creating this. Our vision is locally owned white goods manufacturers in communities that are owning the design, manufacturing, production, maintenance and end-of-life management for all of these. And these aren't just dreams, these are realities. And you can help us tonight. We want to raise $250,000 to build the first on-country manufacturing plant to take to Diane and to deliver so her people can build the first ever beds and washing machines made completely from plastic waste in the community. So on the way here tonight, randomly, Diane called and I picked up the phone and I thought maybe she knew that we were pitching and talking about her. but she actually wanted to live from Alice Springs to Tennant Creek. So I told her I couldn't help it. But what I promised to Diane is that when I call her back, that I would have told a community of people here tonight in the room and online that there are now all of us who actually care about this problem. This is something that is completely preventable. We eradicated RHD from here in Melbourne, and we can eradicate RHD here in Australia if we just remind ourselves of the really simple things that we take for granted, like having a working washing machine, like having a clean bed, but most importantly, seeing something and doing something about it.